before I watch another Hallmark Christmas movie, a romance, a rom-com, I have to update you guys on everything that's happened because so much has happened. It's so cold these days. And my throat is fucked because this last Saturday night I went to Tony Curran's party for his birthday, and not only was it all the cast of Blood in my blood, but they gave me like presents. I got gold and silver rings from all these really nice, from just like the nicest, most gentlemanly English dudes. And then also we got to celebrate Scotland style, Glasgow style with the Scottish cast, who I was like salivating over and riveted by because I'm sorry, I fucking loved Outlander from the beginning. The first episode of Outlander that came out, I think it was 2017 that you could possibly watch it, and I was in California and I was like living in a basement and I watched it like with the Wi-Fi I had in this like tiny place. Like I was living in the basement of my mate's craftsman. Like I didn't have a house, I didn't have an apartment, and I was like fucking crying because when it started, sing me a song of a lass that is gone, and they changed over the sea to sky to being a lass that's gone, I was like, this is so cinematic for TV. And then it's like, not only is our character played by an Irish actress and she's English, her character's English in it, and obviously she's so good, but Jamie is like authentically Scottish, and you just go, see, hiring Scottish people in Scottish TV shows, it's a good idea. And the show was so good. All of the performances were exceptional in Outlander. And then the wedding episode, like I remember it was like episode 3 or 4, and that was the night that I was invited to Rain Phoenix's birthday, like in real life. It was a fucking full moon, and she was having her birthday like close to downtown, and I had to finish the wedding episode before I would go. And I watched that wedding episode like greeting. I was crying. I was like, I can't believe that the character's getting remarried in like the past. Like her character goes into the past because she literally finds a standing stone in Scotland that she goes past, like it makes her go back in time, and she's back at like the 1700s. Not only does she get she gets attacked and almost raped, like, but like the character of Jamie, like rips the guy off her, and you're just like, that happened to so many women. Like that's how they were controlled over time, is like just rape her and she won't have a thought again, or rape her and she'll not have any power. You'll take away her magic, and it's like so twisted, but it's like planned that way. I mean, that's what they do in wars all the time, and you just go, oh my god. And the fact that he rips the guy off her and she can actually like live a life where she's not a rape victim, you're like, oh my god, thank god. But it's like by a hair of time, like it's all so good. And then the wedding is like the best episode. I mean, all the episodes are incredible, but the wedding one was like, she's wearing like this grey linen dress, and I got to meet the costume designer at Tony's party, and I got to tell her like why I fucking die for those costumes, because my Babja in real life gave me like a grey linen, I think I can even show you guys, she gave me, ow, I like hit myself on my own side table. Fucking dramas that are going on today, there's so much drama today, I can't even cope. This is the grey linen, look. See that? That's my tablecloth from Poland. That's my, it's like my dowry that my granny gave me in real life. My Polish granny Babcia, who's literally here. That's her. This is the only silver I have in my house because everything's gold, but Babcia's silver. And that's my heart with Babcia's heart. And the other side of the frame. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty suddenly. Because I just had a fucking matcha. Right, okay, here we go. Yeah, I was watching like Holly Robinson Pete in a rom-com called Family Christmas Gift. Okay, so basically, Christmas tree's so nice. I had a massive reaction to the wedding episode 2017 when I was in that little basement watching it. It was like when Wi-Fi had just begun in this tiny little craftsman basement, and the wedding episode is the first time in cinema or television in the history of the art form that I have, that is my art form, that's like my journey, like that's my church, is my religion, is like cinema, so like, and TV. So you're like storytelling, and you go visual storytelling, and you go, that's how I experience my life. The wedding episode is how we feel about men and women, that we get to be like 50% in whatever collaboration we're doing. That's what it is. It's so profound. Men who like women and women who like men. It's like a profound connection where you're like, it fits like that much. You're just like, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and you go, didn't. I don't think that's the sound of like the greatest thing that's happening, the greatest miracle of all time, when two people come together. But maybe that's the sound. La! It's probably like a angelic, like Palladian, more elven angelic sound. La! But anyway, in that episode of Outlander, the wedding, in the first season, or the first series, you're crying because it was the first time I'd seen a sex scene or a love scene from her point of view, and very realistic. And it's not that it's like awkward or uncomfortable, like it's annoying that we went from really like intense male gaze sex scenes to awkward sex scenes where it's like, that's not what it's like either. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like drop shit when I'm trying to like get it on with someone. I'm not like breaking things by accident, because like I have my shit together, and I like, it's like a spiritual moment. I'm not trying to like be awkward about it. I'm not like, wait, do I want to do this? It's kind of like when you're eating and you're eating like the best meal of all time. You're like, this is the best meal of all time. You're not like, should I pick up this fork? And it's like, of course, like everyone just gets into it. But I really appreciated Outlander because it was so feminist, and it's written by a woman. Like the idea came up, the whole idea was come up with, or the idea came to a lady called Diane. She fucking channeled this whole thing, and I don't even think she's Scottish. She just like channeled it for Scotland, and all of the country of Scotland would be forever grateful, because we've never seen anything that's that realistic. The wedding episode is like them talking about sex and like what you do, and that night they're really supposed to have sex for like traditional reasons. And you go, oh, this is so much better, because they're not like sexting each other. It's not like modern day where you're like texting or sexting. It's not that. It's like they're wooing each other in this ancient way that we've all been raised with. Like that's in our blood. Like we remember when a man had to do that, and when a woman had to do that. There were so many like rituals and things that you did that were so dignified to show respect to each other. And it's so fucking nice. And she was like, when she meets him, she thinks he's like a brute, because all his mates are like just being Scotland, like they're just being Glasgow, but that's how they show you they love you, is like they'll be a bit rough to you, or they'll make fun of you or something, and she's a wee bit like taken aback by like how brutish they are, but like they're not really brutes, they just love her. And then like he like defends her in front of them too, so it's all these like really smart story points. And then the other thing that's so great about Jamie's character coming into it is he says to her, I'm a virgin. Like at the beginning of their whole thing, he's like, I'm a virgin. And she's like, like, we didn't think that was the truth about this guy. Like that is so cute. And he's like, that night of their wedding night, he was like, yes, he says something like, I said I was a virgin, but I'm not necessarily a saint. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, it's not like I haven't done anything, but I just haven't done that. And that's quite cute as well. And it's just so realistic. Like, those are the convos you have, like, when you are approaching what it means to be intimate with someone. And that intimacy in cinema can be achieved really well because we do it all day with each other. Oh my God, this matcha is so good. Oh, look at my Sundance mug. I went to Sundance every year. It wasn't just 2017. I went to Sundance every year unless I'm dead or having an operation. Yeah, people were like, Mariana's at Sundance even if she's like... Like, I would go to Sundance if I had no arms and legs and I was bleeding from like every orifice. I'd be like, I'm still there. Anyway, after the wedding episode, everything about being an artist for me had changed. And I had to go to Rain Phoenix's birthday on a full moon in Los Angeles, like 2017. And I had to be like, Rain, happy birthday, babes, because I worked with her so many times. And I met her through the Art of Elysium because Jennifer Howell introduced me to like 25% of my mates, because I did like 3 movies for them. For Jennifer, I did Forever. We did the film with James Franco. That I'll always love that film. Rose for Emily. That's like, oh, Kelly Pike is the best director. You guys should watch it. And there's also Thomasina Sawyer that I did. I literally did 3 films. And Thomasina Sawyer, I had to have like a Mississippi accent. And Jennifer Howell's like, all her family and all her mates from Mississippi, from the SIP, were like, yo, you sound like you're from there. Like, they didn't believe I was Scottish. Like, they were like, no, this chick's probably from Mississippi. Because the character I played had to be from there. The aunt. I played the aunt of Thomasina Sawyer, and she's like, I scream at the baby. I scream at the kid all the time. But I did it in a way, I tried to do it in a way that was inspiring, because I never scream at children in real life. But I tried to be like, look, mate, you're stressing us all out. But there's a way to do that with the kids, where I was like behind the scenes, like, you're the best kid, you're the star of this world, like, you're an angel. And I'm only like, this is only us like pretending. I would never shout at you like this in real life. And if anyone shouts at you like this in real life, you come to me and be like, hey, Mariana, that person shouted at me in a way that wasn't right. That's what I did with all the Neds as well. Like, I was like, mates, we're going to be pals forever. And they all, but we had like this bond. It wasn't a trauma bond. It was like a joy bond from doing Neds together. But anyway, after Outlander, what we have is decades of Scotland and Scottish crew being employed. We've got a high-end TV show that's international that everyone fucking loves. And we've got, like, the classiest acts of all time in the cast members. Like, everyone that I met from Outlander whose cast is, like, tip-top, 100% sweet, nice, generous, good vibes. Then at the thing that was so funny is, like, I came back to Scotland in 2017 and beyond that, and I told everyone I loved Outlander. I told people who... Like, I told Peter Mullen to watch Outlander, like, when I had watched it. I told every fucking cunt, I was like, you guys need to watch Outlander. Anyone who was like, I haven't watched it, if anyone in Scotland was like, I haven't watched it, I was like, you have to watch it. And anyone in America who was like, I haven't watched it, I was like, you have to watch it. Like, I don't care what you do, watch it. And then we had, oh my God, we had Paris, we had France, we had back in America, we had, like, Rick Rank, Glaswegian Rick, who's literally like fancy in it. Like, he's got more of an Edinburgh accent in it, and you're going, he's fancier than he is in real life, but he's doing it so well. Like, we all do that in Glasgow. Or Scottish people, we all have like ranges of our accent. Actors were like, do you want this one, or do you want like fully a different accent? Because we can, for me, I can be my accent or something else completely 100%. And then there's a lot of people who are like, I can just do that. A lot of actors are like, I can just do this. Or they can only do one accent, which is fine. But also, I wanted to cry every second at Tony Curran's birthday, because it was all the cast of Blood of My Blood. So Blood of My Blood is the prequel, which is even better. I said to everyone, I was like, yo, it's even better that it's a prequel, because if it was a sequel, there's something about it that's like linear and just isn't what the story was originally, which was going from our time back. And now what they've done with, it's like we've got Outlander here, and with Blood of My Blood, they're doing that time back. Like, before that time, you're seeing Jamie's dad. And you just go, Jamie's dad, Brian, that's the character's name. And you just go, oh my God, like, this is the greatest actor in Scotland. Holy fucking shit, like... The actor playing Brian is like on a fire with life, and his real life name is Jamie. And I'm literally can't get my, like, I've got a frog in my throat for the rest of my life because on Saturday night I chatted to everyone from the cast to tell them why it was so good and thank them for their performances, because, like, watching it, you're like, this is so good. Blood in My Blood is so fucking good, and we didn't know it was going to be that good. And Mullen dies in the first bit. In the first season, Peter Mullen is, like, dying, and you're just like... And he tells his daughter, who's going to end up being Jamie Frasers' mum. But even though that's not where she starts out, you're like, hey, by the way, it's crazy because you feel like he's saying all this stuff to her, like, you're more intelligent than your brothers. You're my firstborn, and if only you were a boy, because you'd be taking over everything here. You'd be the laird. But because you're a girl, you need to, like, use your wits and do everything you possibly can to, like, work your brothers and, like, build a drama for them and create a narrative for them so that they can, like, slip up because they're dumb or whatever, and let them, like, be brutes that are, like, really just fighting each other and the world, and they won't get to be in charge of Peter Mullen's legacy, his character's legacy, because they don't deserve the crown, basically. And you're like, there's nothing better than the daughter of a king being like, my brothers are fucking stupid and I need to marry someone smarter than them. Let me marry someone smarter than my brothers. Step one. It's a shame they were born so dumb. Anyway, Blood in My Blood is all about this, and it's very romantic, the way that the prequel, I don't want to do spoilers, but the way that, you probably don't want to watch this, you want to just go watch it and then, like, come back after you've watched Blood in My Blood, come back and listen to this because it's worth it. But the way that they meet each other is so sweet. The way that Brian meets his future wife, you're like, they're in a barn and he's kind of, like, been ostracized by his whole group because I'm just putting more milk in my matcha, as is my want. My cocktail of choice. Jack Cocker was like, what kind of, like, kale juice do you drink? That's on your Instagram, like, you're drinking kale. And I was like, mate, this is not kale juice. It's green, but it's matcha, and it is not kale juice. It's, like, fucking better than that. It's better than coffee. I was laughing about that. Like, I was like, if me drinking kale juice would be insanity. But I've probably done that too. Actually, when I was watching Outlander for the first time, 2017, that's what I would get, like, in Pasadena. I would, like, drive to Pasadena to go to this, like, very organic little wee shop in a strip mall, and I'd just be like, can you guys give me the veggie juice but don't put any fruit in it, and just make me, like, a big one. Like, I'd get these, like, this amount of veggie juice. I'd get, like, 2 of them, and, like, on the drive home, like, just tan them, because I'm so tall, like, I can actually drink a lot of green juice. That's what I was drinking at the time, and I was going to, like, hot yoga in California. Like, it was hot already, but being like, I am gonna go hot vibes. And getting to talk to the cast of Blood in My Blood is like being born happy. And it was also a night for Billy Connolly. I got to tell everyone in Tony's family, like, I got to take the piss out of him with his mum, because his mum is such a fucking legend. I literally was, like, laughing with her. She was like, I'll adopt you. I was like, you have to. It's so cute. Oh, definitely. I'm a member of your family already. Like, I always felt like that. She was like, correct. And then I was taking the piss out of Tony, because the first time, it was, like, one of the first time I met him. I think it was the first time I met him. Karen introduced me to him. We went to, like, Soho House for a meeting, but it ended up being, like, a Scottish fucking parade. It was like a Glasgow event. It was like a Celtic fucking fan meeting or something. Like, we were just like, oh my god, this is so good. And I was like, you were the Invisible Man, but if I was your mom, I'd be fucking raging that your face wasn't in it, because the whole time he's like this. The whole time in that film, Tony Curran's face is like, and you can't see his beautiful blue eyes. His mom has these like cinematic eyes. And I was looking at his mom just being like, oh my God, it's genetic. Like, oh, sorry, but like, those blue eyes are like very common in Scotland. It's like 50% of the population. But I'm used to like being in Poland or whatever, where it's like, some cunts have blue eyes, but it's not a lot. It's rare. This is rare. In other countries, it's rare. In America, it's super rare to have blue eyes. Like, forget it. So, yeah, when I was saying it to Tony Curran's mom, I was like, you must be fucking raging. And she was like, I didn't even care about the thing. Like, she's like, I was like, I cared about that more than you did. And we were just pissing our pants because, like, everything she says is hilarious. Like, I need to get more milk from Waitrose. My God. I've finished all my fucking milk. What the fuck else is happening? So basically, that happened. I had a really nice Farm Rio dress on. Like, if you look on my Instagram, my Farm Rio dress has like little bits of bright green because of Celtic. I had to represent, it's like a lime green, but also it's got like red and orange for Christmas. And I've been waiting to wear that Farm Rio dress because it's like handmade. And it's got these like dangly bits that you're like, oh my God, it's like beaded and the whole thing is gorgeous. And I got it on Abbot Kinney, like in Los Angeles, on Venice Boulevard. And I knew Tony was going back to America, and I wanted to be like, yo man, here's your thing, here's my dress that honors you. And I came in like, whenever anyone was like, nice dress, I was like, yes, this is what I wore it because I thought this is what Tony would wear if he was a woman, because for his colouring, like, I was like, he's so peely-wally that like this is what I would wear if I was him, because I literally have more sallow skin than any Scottish person. Scottish people's skin is like this. It's like, no, that's creamy. So it's like white. Scottish people's skin is like, it's like Christina Hendricks when I did Egg with her. It's like white. And you just go, like, they could light themselves in a dark corner in a cave that has no sun. Like, on a planet that has no sun, they would be their own bounce. They'd reflect on themselves. Like, that's why, like, cinematographers and directors are like, get that person, because they are lighting themselves everywhere they go. And with Egg, we lit African American skin in a way that was, and African skin in a way that was radicalizing, and also it was before Moonlight. Like, we did it in a way that, because what people used to do, this is so racist, but like what directors used to do, and it was white directors used to do this, because they were trying to save money or time, or they didn't know there was a different fucking option, or they were just like, I don't care, which is weird because ignorance is the worst part of it. But what they would do is they would have someone who was dark-skinned in their film, and what they would do is they would turn up the brightness on that stuff in post, so it would look like the person was mixed race. Or if they were really dark, they would just turn it up a lot so it looked like they were black, but not like as dark as you can get on the spectrum of black people. And I was like, this is fucked. And you could see it watching it. Like, I would be like, this is fucking fucked, because that's not what they look like in real life. And if someone was like doing that to me, to my face, like changing it, I'd be like, it's too much. And it's prejudice. And then what I said to the people in Egg is I got to say, yo, we're doing Egg and we're literally changing cinema. Like, we're taking the time to light this skin color and make it like beautiful cinematically, because that's like what it deserves. And I'm here for it. Like, if I had to wait 25 years for that to happen, it would be great, but it doesn't take longer. It's not necessarily longer to light. It's just like a different lighting. So you're like, we still have to light everything, guys. So it was the same take for us, or for me as a director. It didn't take longer, and it didn't feel like longer, and there's nothing arduous about it. It was just like respectful and cool to be able to do that. And for me as an artist to understand that, like, almost as a photographer, just like as a photographer being like, this is what it is, and this is what it's been before. And that needed to change, and it changed right around the time I was watching Outlander for the first time. It was like, I did Egg with Christina Hendricks and that whole cast in New York. And I got to be put up at the Ace Hotel, which is my favorite hotel in New York. But the Bowery's like my favorite to go to like lunch and have a meeting. But I actually love staying at the Ace because it's so fucking central. You can go anywhere. And I wanted to go to the matcha place downstairs. There was a matcha full right around the corner from there. Shout out to Hannah. Hannah is the lady who's like discovered that you can take over New York with a place called Matchaful, and she literally has. Like, her vision was, I'm gonna do this pop-up to like now every corner in New York has a Matchaful. And they have soft serve ice cream in there that's like made with coconut sugar, and you're like, guys, this is everything we've always wanted. So anyone who's in New York should go to Matchaful and say hi to Hannah, or like get everything, because I would eat everything. I would eat in there every day when I was doing Happy TV show. All I did was like, because with the DGA give you, the Directors Guild of America give you like a limo driver, they get you first class everything, so you get to have like a first class flight. And it was so different for me to be in New York and be like working with Chris Maloney and like Patrick were like, hey, Patrick was like, we want you to do this job because we saw Bitch on Netflix and we feel like you could direct 2 episodes of our season 2. And I was like, yeah, which limbs do you want me to give you? Because I'll send you a limb in the post because I already want to do that. Or do you want me to like cut together a thing of my work that's like in the vein of the show, a reel or some shit? And they were like, no, we just want to hire you and you don't have to do anything, like you're employed. And I was like, thank you. They were so fucking nice. We closed down 6th Avenue. I had my limo driver going to Matchaful like every morning with me. We'd get like these like buckets and buckets of matcha full. And it was so cute because like my limo driver would drink it and then we'd all just be like having the matcha. God, I loved that job. And Shakira Barrera came to fucking visit me on set because I was like, mate, I know you're in New York right now, like come visit me. And she was like, what the fuck is this? She got to see me directing, which is funny because like she'd only known me from Glow. Like a cunt who's only known me from Glow is like a new friend. As opposed to like Bryce Howard, who saw me from the start. Bryce Howard like saw me in New York when I was 17 being like, I'm trying to do theatre. Do you think it's good? We're trying to do theatre here as children. But then to be in New York and have gone from like, I had a backpack in New York and I was on the subway and I would get like a bagel and like my same orange juice from the same wee deli and like in Chelsea Piers where you go, oh my God, like Chelsea Market has got the best. It used to have this like, the fruit shop's still there, but the fruit shop used to have this like slushy machine that had fresh squeezed orange juice in the slushy machine. And I wanted to marry like whoever was making that because that's like so up my alley. And they wouldn't add sugar to it. And I just would go every fucking day, winter, summer, any fucking time I was there, I would go every day. That's what I would get, is I would get this like slushy orange. And it like got me through whatever plays I had to do, whatever voice class I had to do at Atlantic Theatre Company, because we were in a small space on 16th. It was before we were in the big space. Like now, as an Atlantic fucking alum, as a member of the theatre company, I feel like we fucking went so far because we're now in the Google building, you know, in Chelsea. And it's so fancy. But where we used to be was like this tiny wee space, which kind of I liked better for me because I don't know why I liked it. There was something rustic and like perfect about it. And it was always the same stage. Like their stage is really, ironically for me, a church because I fucking love church and I love theatre. So they actually took over in like the 90s or whatever. The Atlantic Theatre Company before me took over that church and like made it a stage, and like Neil Pepe was like walking around like building the floors and shit, and Mary McCann was like, who's that fucking guy? Do you know what I mean? And everyone was like, yes, they're probably gonna get together. And they were like, yeah, let's get together. And it was like, that's how they met, is like creating a theatre company together. It's not a bad way to go. And they had a kid, and the kid's excellent, and we love that child. And it's just kind of like this whole blessed situation in New York where you go, they really made that shit work. And because they were fueled by the bagels and like the lox, and I wouldn't even get that shit. I'd be like, I want a bagel with whitefish because I'm literally taking over God, the whitefish is so fucking good. There's just like this whitefish thing. I don't know what is in it, but it's just like everywhere in New York you can get bagel with whitefish, and it's just like, feels very Polish, but it's not. I'm sure it's Jewish, and it's delicious. And Sarah Beth's is so cozy in there. Like, you can just go in Sarah Beth's, and she would have these jars of jam that was like this Polish honey jar. Like, she'd be like, yo, I'm selling jars of jam, but it wasn't a fucking tiny wee jar where like cunts are always like, like the royals sell these jars that are like this size. Oh my God, I love this, by the way. This is my Jasmine Lily moisturizer from Chantecaille. It's French. I hope it's French, but we don't know. Okay, wait. Sarah Beth would do these jars of jam that were like for your whole fucking family. And I would just like bring everyone Sarah Beth's. And that feeling of like being a student, not having any money, like how are we going to pay the rent this month vibes to, or like I was cocktail waitressing, you know what I mean, until 4 a.m. and like had cash strapped to my body on the subway on the way home at like 4 a.m. That's what I did like every night. And that was a bit of an intense way to do it because of my tips. And then I would be like, yo, I'm going to put all this stuff in my backpack because I have like 25 plays I'm reading in my backpack right now, or have to run to Atlantic to do the play. And that off-Broadway feel, it was like, and then we'd go to like see plays everywhere, you know what I mean? We'd see like Bryce do a play. God, Bryce was so fucking good on the stage. She was like an angel walking out there. And I remember just being like, who the fuck is this mermaid coming in here? Like, she's channeling this like angelic vibes. And then we'd like meet after the play, and it would be like a Manhattan Theatre Club or something, and she'd be like, yeah, you know, and she'd have like her yoga thing about LA, and the difference between LA and New York is like, Bryce had like her yoga mat on her backpack because it was like, she'd probably left her place to go to yoga before the show, done the show, and then like has to take it all home. And you're like, all that shit you're carrying on your back in New York, it doesn't matter like what your name is, what your DNA is, like you still have to fucking like hustle in New York. Like, nobody's getting this shit for free. It's not a free journey. It's not a free ride for anyone. And in a lot of ways, like, I'm really glad that I got to see that, because you can be like, if anyone's ever like, something is gifted to some people and other people like just whatever, I'm like, actually that's not the case. Everyone works so hard. Sometimes people have to work harder. So this thing about like, I don't know, people are talking about Nepo babies these days, and I don't ever use that term because to me it's like a derogatory term, because like, we're all Nepo babies. Like, my mother is the artist of everybody's dream come true, and like my dad is such a good example of like a very artistic, they made money from their art, my mom and dad, in a collaboration, making rock bags for decades, and like they were so successful at it. And then you saw them not only work together, but like build this empire and be nice to each other and have children and do it all. That example is a good thing, to be like, hey, let's have that be our standard. So therefore, you never kind of like go under that bar of quality respect in a relationship. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that level of quality. Like, to me, I see it as like an emotional complexity, a depth. And it's not like whatever other people are saying it. There's some haters out there who might think that some things are gifted to some people, which I'm sure there's times where like maybe a banker is born into a banking family, and you know, then they're the CEO when they're 21 or something, and you're like, did they earn that? Did they go to uni? And it's like, maybe they didn't go to uni and they got a job, and everyone else who's been working for it is like, well, you know, they could have employed us. And it's kind of like, that's true. I'm not trying to like defend a banking family or something. But when we're all artists, it's a whole other fucking story, because an artist has to go out in the world and like be in the ring and get beaten the fuck up by the first show they do, by the first film they do, by anything they do like when they're 7. You know what I mean? If you go in and you're doing something as a child even, like, it's terrifying. You have to stand on that stage. You have to bear your actual nerves And you have to, like, be scared. And, like, to anyone who's like, oh, I'm going to critique this, to say to an artist, I'm going to critique them, I want to be like, why don't you do a one-woman Hamlet? You do a one-man Hamlet, and you know what I mean, in front of the whole fucking world. And then we'll talk about what you think about different performances and who should have what, you know what I mean? Because it takes 100% bravery, and you have to have 100% confidence in the face of the entire world, even though there's this huge spotlight on you. And it is the same as Kelly Moore told me that acting on the stage or doing anything in anything, like even a TV show, is terrifying to the point, to your body, it's the same as what happens to you when you have a car crash. It's the same level of adrenaline. Your body's going, like, I'm panicking. I'm having a fucking panic attack, but I know I have to go out there. And it's so intense. And, like, there's no free ride for anyone. There's no human being that goes through that process easily. And maybe there's, like, bad eggs out there who are maybe also Nepo babies or whatever, even though I don't use that term. And maybe that's the case, but I know that's the case, but, like, those aren't my friends. So if you want to, like, know who is a good, solid, angelic human being, an angel on this planet, just take a look at, like, who my pals are, and you will see a line of them. And some of them grew up in, like, trailer parks, and some of them grew up in fancy houses, and it doesn't actually matter because they all have to do the scene together now. And you have to do the fucking scene. So you have to have enough, like, balls, cojones, bravery. Like, you have to be, like, up for it. You have to be so curious and open-hearted and interested as an artist on the stage and in front of a camera. Otherwise, the camera will, like, just go and it'll spit you out. And, like, the stage will go and spit you out. And you just go, oh my God, like, you can't last 2 seconds up there if you're, like, just all in your head, which a lot of critics are and a lot of haters are in their, like, third chakra. And we're operating from, like, whatever this is, our 9th or 10th chakra. Like, we're up here with the angels, man. Like, we're bringing down, we're channeling, like, angel light and bringing it down onto earth, onto this plane, onto, like, yeah, maybe the 3rd or whatever chakra. Like, we're coming down hot with a hot light. And it's, like, a good, positive light. There's, like, no darkness. We're, like, actually doing alchemy every time we do anything. Oh my God, I love my matcha! Thanks to everyone. Kim Utani. I feel like you guys gave me this mug. I have so many Sundance mugs. I just respect actors, which is why I feel like getting to go to Tony Curran's this weekend was such a fucking godsend. I'm not gonna lie. And thanks, Tony, for having me. And if you look on my Instagram, you can see how happy we all are. It was a joyful night. They're about to wrap their 2nd season. Blood in My Blood is, like, about to finish in time for Christmas. So it's like, that 2nd season is going to be epic. We're ready for it. And there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm processing a lot of stuff, and I actually also believe that, just to talk about the Rob Reiner thing, because literally it happened, like, in the last 24 hours or 48 hours. It happened after I had that epic night at Tony's. And I lived in Brentwood. Like, I was next to, like, a block away from their house, basically. A street away from where they lived. And it was such a good marriage. Like, Rob Reiner met his wife. It makes me cry, but he met his wife. She's a photographer. She was a photographer. And he met her doing Harry Met Sally because that film was something that he created to be like, see, no one can find love. Like, funny guys can't find love. And this is why it's funny, because it'll never work out, you know? Like, it wasn't going to be a Nancy Myers film. Like, this is a Rob Reiner film, do you know what I mean? Rob Reiner's funny as fuck and so clever, such a clever writer, could write for women like Almodovar could too. Some men write better for women than any of us, and I'm like, give it to him. Like, give him all of the fucking kudos, because he either has like a great mum, obviously he did, because she's the one who said that line in When Harry Met Sally, I'll have what she's having. To have your mum do that is like so classy and so full circle and so funny. It's just like, that mum is like up for it. You'd be like, do you want to go to like a thing? We're doing this thing at like 4 a.m. Do you want to come? She'd be like, yes. Like, all the mums are like, I'll be there. Both wells on and looking good. Rob Reiner's talent is off the charts, but he had just been through a divorce with like his genius wife, his genius first wife. So he was kind of like in the shadow side of that. Like when love's left you, even if you're like done a TV show, it doesn't matter if you've won Oscars or if you did Stand By Me. Like, it doesn't matter like if you did Spinal Tap, like, and your wife's obviously done all these jobs and she's a fucking genius as well, and you guys had to divorce. Like, it's so sad. And not necessarily, people aren't spared from that. Like, hearts are not spared from how fucking hard that is. And it makes sense to me that Rob was like, I'm gonna make a film called When Harry Met Sally, and it's gonna be the dark side of love, like, that he doesn't ever get with the girl. Like, the original ending of that film was that they don't get together. Harry and Sally don't get together because she's fucking crazy when she orders. Like, there's so many reasons. She takes a long time to order food. She thinks it's cold when it's 71 degrees outside. She's actually nuts. So, like, why would he get with a nutty lady? Like, she's the craziest lady he knows. Why would he get with her? There's all these cerebral reasons that, like, a comic man or a genius guy who's funny would be like, I don't deserve love. I don't want to be loved. I don't want to be around love. I'm going to just fucking be... Because of everything that's happened in my life, I'll run away from love because I don't want to be vulnerable. That's what most people do, because that's actually the more safe journey. The scarier roller coaster journey is actually go for it. Like, the roller coaster is more intense. It's not like a merry-go-round, it just goes around. Like Ron Howard's film said that. The old granny in Parenthood, the first one, said that. But the thing that makes me cry about When Harry Met Sally is, oh my god, I need a tissue. Rob Reiner, like, said that he met his wife, like his next wife on that film. She was the photographer, and of course she's going to be like beautiful, interesting, clever, great artist. And this is what happened in that timeline, is Rob Reiner decided, for the sake of humanity and love and cinema, and like love in cinema and men in cinema, and like what it really means to be a man and a good artist, he decided to change the ending of When Harry Met Sally so that it is what it is now in our film that we can watch now, which is that they get together at the end of New Year's. And it's not because it's New Year's, and it's not because I'm lonely. And it's like, the fact that those two people like made a life in Brentwood that was super normal, and they were brave, they would talk about politics, they were like activists, but they were also like just fucking good people, and they had an everyday normal life. Like, raising kids is an everyday normal life, and having a kid that is mentally ill is not a fucking cakewalk. And this idea that their son was having issues from a very young age, like, it's like my heart's like already breaking for them. And that he went to rehab like 3 times a year, and that's so intense compared to all the other overachieving children. Like, I always look at that from a point of view of like the healthy one in the family, the Caliban syndrome. That's a Shakespeare character where you're going, I'm healthy, but I have a fear of contagion. Like, I'm the healthy sibling, so you're scared you're gonna get mentally ill. If someone who could be born mentally ill was born mentally ill, why would you be the one who's not? And the guilt of that and the shame around it. And then like, how do you then have to overachieve because you feel like you have to do it for your person who's like the sibling that's
got the mental illness. You have to do it for both of you. So you're mature, you're very mature, very young, and you mature quickly, and then you like are basically an adult when you're like 7, and then you can like do things like other people can't do, you know what I mean? Like you're the designated driver, or can fold all your laundry like as an infant, and you do all this shit, like you teach yourself how to tie your own shoelaces, like, because no one's there to be like, by the way, you should tie your shoelaces, because no one gives a shit about your shoelaces when you're healthy and the other kid is unwell. And especially if it's schizophrenia, you're talking about like dark forces that have like taken over that body, and you can't pray away, you can't like, as a sibling, you can't like make someone healthy, even if you spend every day like giving them salmon for their brain, or here's your berries, do you know what I mean, for your brain. It's like, well, if they don't make the healthy choices every day for themselves, you can't do it for them. Like you can do it to an extent, but you know what I mean, you could get him a yoga teacher, but it's not going to change his mental illness. You could be like tough parents and it's not going to change it, and you can be loving parents and it's not going to change it. Or you can be a supportive sibling and it's not going to change it, and you could be like, I don't give a fuck anymore sibling, and it's still not going to change it. Like nothing you do can make that person better. And I think that's the problem with what we were dealing with the Rob Reiner thing. It's like such a shock because it is all of our families, but also for it to go to that extent and for there to be like bloodshed at the end is like, it's so horrific. It's a nightmare that like no family deserves to go through, and like no sister should have to like walk in on that. No daughter should have to walk in on that. Like, I was so upset for her because, like, you've tried your whole life to, like, sort it all out and, like, be there for everyone and make sure that it's going to be okay. And then at the end of the fucking day, it's not okay in any way. That's the part that's, like, traumatizing, because you're, like, there's no, like, coming back from it. You know, it's like a sad ending to a beautiful story, a beautiful marriage, and like a beautiful family, and like a beautiful part of Los Angeles, Brentwood, where you're like, everybody's dream came. When I was in Brentwood, my dreams came true in Brentwood. Like the American dream comes true for you. Like it works. Like everything about life is like really pretty nice. And we're not saying it's perfect, because no one's trying to like make a perfect city or something, but you can make a world where everyone's okay. And it felt like while they were alive everything's okay, and now it's like there's this tarnish on it that feels like it's not going away. It radicalizes you. To go through pain like that, it radicalizes you as a city, as a household, as a family. Like in every relationship of that family, it's gonna be like radicalizing, and it's like, it's just not funny. There's nothing about it that's like a silver lining. I don't see anything like that right now. And you just saw him he was just talking about like Charlie Kirk. There's a video of Rob Reiner like a couple of weeks ago being like, hey, so nothing like that should ever happen to any human being. And for him to take that quality of stance about someone that doesn't have his politics, that's American to me. Like that's very Scottish and democratic, and Polish and democratic. Like, yo, we live in countries where we can have opinions about politics. And you don't have to have a corrupt government. You don't have to be like twisted by like a communist government. It's like you can have conversations about politics that are free, and you don't get put in prison for your opinions, and you can say whatever you want. You know, free speech is beautiful and necessary and healthy. And if there's an opponent, like bring them on, because we're going to debate about it, but we're going to be respectful to each other. Like that's a part of debate. That's like they teach you in when you're 7 or 4, you know what I mean? Like they teach toddlers this, like you have to be nice to other people. Like if you're going to debate them, that's cool, but like be respectful in that, you know? And you don't say to your opponent, oh, I don't like you. Because you can say I don't like your ideas. Say I don't like your ideas. But you can't say, especially after someone's passed away, or you ought not to say when someone's passed away, hey, in such a horrific manner, blah, 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 something negative. It's like you want to say, I'm sending like literally love and light to that family because they actually need that right now. They need love, light, and like all of our respect and as much fucking dignity as possible, because it's such an offense to have that happen. To take that narrative of like such a fucking beautiful family and the lineage, like it was such a nice family. That's some twisted shit. And also, you don't want the bullies to win, and you don't want the dark side to win here. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's dark forces at play, and they don't win in this dynamic. Like, we talk about that all the time. I haven't really played villains because I don't really, on purpose, I don't do it because other people could do it really well and they can handle it, but like, I'm very much like a channeler when I work. And because of that, I feel like I'm above some sort of like, I'm literally in a different dimension, but not like I'm better than, that's not what it is, because we're all the same. So we're all the same, that's where we start from. But it's literally like what you choose to focus on. And what I choose to focus on with my stories is very specifically like good people doing good stuff. Maybe they're put upon and then they're good at the end. Because good literally is more interesting. It's harder to be good. Toni Morrison said this thing about evil that I literally like feel like is my whole life. And she could like process it in this beautiful way. She said, evil is easy, and it's much easier to be evil than it is to be good. Like, living a life where you're good is much more interesting and dynamic, harder. And it's just more interesting, it's less boring. Like, evil is boring. And from a creative point of view, I love that fact. Like, you can live in that as an artist and be like, I'm going to make light. I'm going to bring as much light to this planet as possible. Like, that's what I feel like Rob Reiner and his wife were trying to do. Like, every day they were like, living in Brentwood, trying to do it, sit in the traffic jam and just like get to your meeting and then be like, here we are, now we get to like change the world again today for the better and like bring some light to the situation. And they were like fighting that good fight. And it was like a fucked up week to hear about that, because no one is expecting it. You're not expecting it. And it's like what Robert Kennedy, the first one, said when Martin Luther King was killed, like, he was standing and his like bodyguards used to like physically hold him, because back in like the 50s and 60s, the bodyguards had to like hold you like this because they didn't have like the techniques or whatever. They didn't have like drones going around and finding shit and like seeing who's there, like seeing where the enemy is. It's like they didn't have that, so they had to like physically hold you. There's so many pictures of all of his like bodyguards just like physically holding him when he's doing a speech, or like he's on a lot of like trucks in Poland talking to people, and all the Poles are like hugging him and shaking his hand because he's Catholic. In Poland, that's like being Jesus. And the Poles were like, oh my God, like we're in a communist country, like Robert Kennedy, save us. Like, and I'm sure he was like, these people fucking healed me. And the people were like, that cunt fucking healed us. But when he's in America, like he's just been almost put out by his own brother's assassination. And as a brother, that's like so personal. Like man to man, that's pretty fucking personal if they take out your brother. he didn't know what to do, like he was depressed. He was like not playing football with his kids every day, which is all the Kennedys ever did, is like play football every day. And, you know, I think his wife Ethel like birthed him enough children to give him a lot of teams, a lot of different football sides. They used to joke that she was like birthing him voters as well as like players on a team. But it was intense because Martin Luther King had been shot that day, and Robert Kennedy knew that it had happened, and he was supposed to give a speech in a town and in a state that was very like African American, like the majority of the citizens are African American, and he had to go to do that speech and tell them that their God, their Jesus, their saint and their savior, Martin Luther King, had been killed. Because he was like, do they know? Like when someone told him about Martin Luther King right before he was going to go give this speech, he was like, did they know? Like, does the audience know? Like, do his people know? And everyone was like, they don't know, you have to tell them. And he was like, oh my fucking God. And they were all, every one of his bodyguards and everyone in his family was like, don't go out there. You're going to get fucking shot. Like, this is going to be a sad night in America. People are going to fucking loot. People are going to burn shit. Like, it's going to be like, your head on a stick. Goodbye. And he was like, no, I'm going out there. Like, I'm going out there. Like, there's no fucking way I'm not. Because he had climbed a mountain in Canada and, like, put some fucking part of his brother's, like, thing on the top of that mountain because he felt like he could heal his own grief if he could fucking just climb that mountain. And also, he had read a lot suddenly. Like, suddenly he's reading Shakespeare, he's reading Aeschylus, he's reading all this shit that he hadn't read before, and he knew the best thing to do at that moment, regardless of whether he was going to live or die, or anyone was going to live or die that night. It was like, step out on the stage and just be there for the people in the audience that didn't want to kill him, or maybe they're all going to kill him, but he doesn't give a shit at that point, because like, he's been at such a wit's end. This is what's so great about being an adult, is you have been through so much that you're almost at your wit's end, and you don't want to get out of bed, and you don't, like, you're like, I don't want to do that, you know? Like, I don't want to be brave and go out there. But what happens as a human being is you get this, like, whisper, and I think it's a whisper from God. I think it's a whisper from the angels, or your grandparents in heaven, or, like, you know what I mean? It's like your babcia in Poland, it's always your babcia on your shoulder. She's like, you're gonna be okay. That's why there's no serial killers in Poland, because all the babcias are like, I'm your angel, I'm here for you. Remember, you're gonna be okay, you're loved. You don't have to be a bad guy. You're loved. And like, oh my God, I put the tissue over the thing. What, like, how athletic was that? Throwing a tissue right at the camera. It's very cinematic. But what happened in that speech, Robert Kennedy that night goes out and he's like, hey, Martin Luther King was killed tonight. And the whole audience is like, you hear them like, no, like, that's their future, like, that's their guy, that's their reverend, like, you can't take him away. He's the one who's gonna save them from, like, maybe John F. Kennedy was killed, but, like, at least, and maybe, you know, MLK was assassinated, but, like, at least it was Martin Luther King is still going, you know? And he was the hope, and like, like, the fact that he had to tell them that, you can hear it on the recording, you have to listen to it. It's such a beautiful speech, and it is like the definition of what America is, and like why I could accept and live in America, because it was like such a beautiful dream, but like not a light dream, like it's dark. It's lifted by a shadow, and it's like shadow and light together, but you're going, oh my God, the light workers are here. It was the kind of speech that Toni Morrison would have made. But he was like, I'm a white guy. Like, he was like, the first thing he said is like, I want you to know, like, we, in these times when something like this happens, we're filled with hate. And we want to retaliate. We want to be aggressive. We want to, like, go and, like, fight the guy who killed the person that we love. But, like, he said, but you have to remember, my brother was killed by a white man. Like, that's true. And they're like, oh my fucking God, like, he's preaching to us right now. Like, this was not a politician's moment. This is, like, beyond politics. And he's, like, talking from his brother's grave. Like, you just, like, what the fuck? He's, like, channeling so much wisdom. And he said, we have to work together in this country. Like, he wasn't crying like I am, because he's very, like, stoic and clear. And there's something about that, his attitude, where he's just like, we have to work together in America. That's what it's about. That's what we're supposed to do. We have to work together in the United States. We're here to work together. We're not here to be opposing. And he was like, I could have been filled with hate and done something about it. But what I did is I learned, and I think about and I pray, and I think about Aeschylus, the quote where he says, you know, you only get wisdom through the awful grace of God. It comes drop by drop, slowly, through the awful grace of God. And you're just like, oh my God. And then he says, you know, what we need to do is like love each other. And I don't want anyone to go out there and be filled with hate. That's what it's about. Like, that's what America's about. And then that night in that city and that whole state, they didn't loot. They didn't burn shit. Like, it's like if you with one speech took out the IRA for that night. Like, that's what it was. It was literally that epic. He fucking used poetry and his own family history and, like, a brotherhood, like a sense of, like, I am your brother and we are all each other's family and God is with us all. Like, it was a transcendent moment. It's like when you can look back and go, that's where speeches were perfect and helped us, and we're a healing balm, and that's the kind of shit we needed. Whenever anything happens, whenever anyone's assassinated, whenever any hatred is shown, you need that level of, like, a wise man coming in and saying something that puts it into perspective, because I do believe that every state and in every other part of America that night, everyone fucking burned stuff. All the African Americans were like, Martin Luther King's dead, so we're gonna burn the whole country. And they just went out and, like, fucking raged and put their pain out in the world and, like, turned it into fire. And you're like, they became militant, you know what I mean? They were radicalized. And some of them didn't go back because they were like, if you kill Martin Luther King, that's us militarized forever. Like, we're going to have guns under our pillows for the rest of our lives. But then you go, or there's this other way to do it. And it's not about, like, peacemaking or being weak. It's like, maybe the stronger thing is to hold a stranger's hand and go, I don't know if you're going to kill me, but I trust that you're not, tonight at least. And that's sort of like what the weaving tapestry of a future in a country can be. And it's like, it's almost like he could see it, even though it was like the night Martin Luther King was dead. He could see that America was going to be this place where people reach out like that. And, like, when fucked up shit happens, it's like, no, we've got each other's back. We've got each other's back. And that's how I felt this whole week. This whole week, from, like, the beginning of time. My wee soul, like, watching Outlander for the first time in California when it was, like, 2017, to, like, getting to go to Tony Curran's birthday in Glasgow on Saturday and just being, like, bowing to them, bowing to Blood on My Blood, like, thank you for your performances, thank you for the storytelling, thank you for uplifting. There's nothing better than uplifting the situation. Oh my God. And, like, there's so much to say about that. There's such a place for, I don't know what you would call it, a space to be good and ethical under like the intense like scrutiny of evil, that it doesn't have to turn every heart to fire. It can be like, yo, we're using this and turning it into light. And it's braver. It's no small feat. Maybe a bit braver than going out there and trying to like push everyone. Because I was never a bully in school, and I saw a couple of bullies in action in school, and I remember being like, oh my god, that's such bad karma for them. It's gonna come back to them like tenfold. Not necessarily with the same people, but like later on in life, like if you cross somebody's heart and soul like that, like it's not good for your heart and soul. It's not good for your heart and soul. Oh my god. And people are like, at the party, people are like, Mariana, people are like, you haven't aged, like why are you so fresh? Or like, people are like, you look so good, or you look better than you've ever looked, or something. And I was like, that's so nice, but like, it's not a face thing, it's not a genes thing, it's like a attitude thing, where I've literally in work and in life and in every moment, like when I'm out on the street, like I'm not trying to like cross anybody. I don't go out and like pick battles. Like I'm a light worker, you know, so I'm out there like doing so much, and it's so deep, the work I do. And from every little thing, from like someone coming off a bus to someone going into the newsagent, to every wee thing, I just like try and make sure that I leave the situation as best I can, and I want to give like as much wee joy to everyone and good chat to everyone, like so that maybe the last thing ever that we say on this planet could be something lovely or funny or cute. That, you know, Rob and his wife's legacy is really going to be their love and their like intentions with their family, and like his work, her work, like how visual they were, the artists that they were, and the brave spokespeople that they were. It's all an example. Like finally, the police are here to get me. They're taking me to a wedding. They're taking me to the wedding episode of Outlander, so I could be a guest at that wedding and go back in time and be like, this was good, guys. I also got to tell the costume designers from Jumanji, because they were there, like, so this is so Tony Curran, but he had his costume designers from Jumanji come and measure him before he was leaving to go and wherever, to go back to the States. And it was so funny that they were at his birthday party, because they're these like Americans, and I was like, I love America, let me tell you guys, blah blah blah. And because they're costume designers, they were like, where's your dress from? I was like, Farm Rio, but you guys need to do Love Shack Fancy, because that's like my favorite. And they actually, Love Shack Fancy has every size in the world for women, which is also so nice, and kids stuff and stuff for your dude. And also I was like, yo, the thing I said to them about the necklace, that if a character has it outside, they're like showing off, they're an extrovert, and if they've got it on the inside, maybe their mum gave it to them, or it's their grannies, or it's like their husband gave it to them and their husband died. Like, it's something where it's inside, so maybe they're shy and they don't want to talk about their jewelry, and they would put it on the inside because they're like being low-key and they're not like looking to brag, but other people are happy to talk about it as a topic of interest. Jewelry is always like a topic of interest, you know, like you like to be like, this is my tiger's eye, or my tiger's eye has a gold love heart on it for no reason, but also because I love it. Jewelry, and I love crystals. I was like saying that to them, and they were like, oh my fucking god. Like, I feel like they came to that party in Glasgow And the way Americans do, they get to like be radicalized by Scotland and like get inspired. Like you could see them just being like, we're gonna use all this in everything we work on. Because artists need something in a dark night. Sometimes the artist needs something like the third act of the play to get energy back, or sometimes 1/3 into the run is always where, as in a play, you're like, I need more energy, and you start watching like Legally Blonde or something with like energy like that, where you go, oh my god, like yes, these people who made Legally Blonde, like my friend who made it, is like filled that with such a packet of light, such a joy ball of like, here's the funniest, like coolest thing that you can actually take with you in a little, it's like a pill. I said to her at a party many times, that film was like a vitamin where it was surrounded by sugar, so we could be like, yo, oh, also I'm taking this. Speaking of, I started to take what is his name, this doctor? Happy Saffron Plus. I wish I remembered his name. He's the brain doctor that was in all of like Lucy Walker's films. I'm like trying to remember his name. He's the one who's taken like brain scans of thousands of brains. Like, so you can look up Happy Saffron, brain doctor, brain MD, Dr. Daniel Amen, AMEN, MD. It's like, because he's educated. But he talks a lot about daily saffron and how good that is for your brain. Turmeric is really good and blueberries are really good. And he was like, he's looked at so many brains and some of them are toxic and some of them are very healthy. And if you have alcohol, if you're smoking cigarettes, if you're doing drugs, like it fucks your brain, even if you're smoking weed. He said recently, you know, there was this very long period of time where people were like, weed's fine, it's only natural. And he's like, it's actually fucked for your whole brain. Like it makes your brain toxic. So there's so many reasons why I like never do anything and stay really healthy. And I think that's why people don't think I look the age I am. But it's not because I've ever fucking moisturized. Like I literally just bought this moisturizer recently. I don't usually like moisturize. I don't even like wash my face usually. I just like, I wash my body, but I used to like, I'd wash my face with makeup. Also, Tara Jade Palka, thank you. She brought back my makeup. Now I can show you guys. She brought it back. My niece, oh my god, this was what I was missing. She brought it back in time for Tony Curran's party. Like, God love her. It's called Too Faced and it's the chocolate one. Chocolate gold. So there's real gold in this. And when I got the first one, they sent it to me for free. Too Faced when I was doing Glow. God, it smells like chocolate gold. Like it smells like the hot chocolate of your dreams, but it's not even, it's like a better scent. Money bags, chocolate gold, rich girl, cocoa truffle, decadent, so bougie, classy and sassy. I use that for my eyebrows. Famous, new money, old money. I love that they're next to each other. Like new money and old money are next to each other. Love and cocoa, holla for a dollar. Gold dipped, living lavish is the purple one. Purple's like the high end. Purple's like the crystal you want to put on your forehead because it takes you places that no other journey can. It's very like transcendental. Dripping diamonds. Rolling in dough. Like these are all such good names. Too Faced, like, they did such a good job of like being the best eyeshadow. Because now it just always smells like, even children and kids and like dogs and stuff can smell that. They're like, like it smells so nice. Just such a wee uplift. I got a lot of stuff off Vinted from like other people on Vinted, because I have a Vinted. If you want to go look at it, you can buy stuff from my Vinted. And there's just like other people selling stuff on Vinted, and when they send you stuff, if I buy it, they'll send me something extra with it, or like a wee note. And it's why I'm like addicted to Vinted, is like the people, the community, because they like
I don't know, they'll send you stuff, and then it makes me, if I'm selling something, I like give them an extra thing. Do you know what I mean? Like if they're like, this is one thing, and then I'll give them two, or like, I don't know, I just send them a note. I just want to be like, make it nice for them, because then they'd receive such a nice gift, and it's such a cute little form of like keeping humanity alive, like between the sheets, or between the spaces in time, like between the moments in time, like it's these like small exchanges, it's the tiny things that really make a difference in life. And like, it's so fucking Christmassy, it's so Dickensian. They're like the ghost of future, past and present, making you a happier and a better person this year. Like each year you get to like turn, like I say to Natalie Clark, it's almost like we're going up, ascending in a spiral up the staircase, up a spiral staircase up, because it is an ascension in work and life and everything. Like as a woman, you just get better. Like as a guy, you just get better. Like everyone's just getting better. And like, I could cry tears of gratitude about it. And there's so much stuff that you can't Google. Like there's so much stuff about Scotland you cannot Google. The old kilt, the ancient kilt, what it was like. That a man would literally have it down to his ankles, and they looked like the Grim Reaper, because they would fold this one piece of cloth like a sari, but it was massive. And these huge, enormous men would like wrap it around themselves like that, and they'd be walking around looking like a monster, but inside they were just nice Scottish guys who were like, do you want to be in my tent tonight? Because do you want to be in my house was like, before they'd built houses, before they had huts, you could sleep in the trees. We were arborists. So to really have a wife, that was your fashion and your house. As a man, you'd be like, yo, I'm going to get married by inviting this lady to sleep in my kilt in the trees. It was a hammock that you would sleep in at night, that you would wear in the day. And it was cozy as fuck, I'm not going to lie. That's the way that Scottish people stayed warm. It's like, how do they stay warm? It's like, this is the stuff that kept them warm. And you want to try Googling the ancient kilt, it's not going to come up. The best stuff about Scotland isn't online. It's not on Instagram, and you can't TikTok it. It's like, you got to actually come here and like speak to a granny and be like, oh my God, wait, what did he say to you? Oh my God, really? And then what did you say to him? Wow, like, oh my God. And then they're like, yeah, no, this is my story. And you go, that's better than anything that's on TV. Like, the real life stuff is more interesting than stuff you could make a documentary about. But unless you're Lucy Walker, in which case her documentaries are better. The documentary she made about me is better than anything I could have ever done with my entire life. Thank you, Lucy, for making Lion's Mouth opens. But what a time. The idea of Poland being like, oh yeah, like you could Google the history of that country, but you can't Google the fact that every babcia, if you go there, is going to invite you into her house, give you meals to feed 1,000 people. Like, I'm not joking. My babcia would cook every week, every day, as if she was feeding an army. And she would, like, an army would come to our house, an army of loving people would come to our house and like be fed, because she was literally so fucking loving. And we were kind of like, is it because she went through the war, and when it was the war they didn't have a lot of stuff? And it's like, mate, she would have been like that, war or no war. Like, she would have been like this. She was so powerful, such a white, powerful being, so giving, so generous, so kind, always a kind word to say about everyone. And I was like, no judgment. She wouldn't do gossip. Try to gossip with her and she'd be like your gossip would fall apart in her arms. As like, if you had a sentence that was gossipy, she wouldn't take it and run with it. She wasn't like that. She's not like that person. She was like a sage. She was like the sage of all nations. But that's just what Babcias are like in Poland. They're all like that. So you're like, they're all these like light workers, magic workers. She knew everything about nature. She knew everything about like what honey does. Chicken soup. She made chicken soup every week for everyone. And you would drink chicken soup as if it was water. Because she was just like, this is the best stuff for you. That was such a good thing to have. Rosu, pierogi, gołąbki. She'd make babka. I remember trying to like have her teach me babka, and babcia was like, no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing that like
like an uneducated person coming in. Or no, she said, you're doing that like a boy trying to play like a football game or something. Like, stop being so aggressive. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So she was like, you have to do it like gently. Otherwise, like, get in my kitchen kind of vibes. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, so how many eggs do you put in the babka? And she's like, 22. And I was like, there's no way there's 22 eggs on one cake. That's fucking mental. She was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she put 22 in, and then we made the cake. And I was like, she's correct. Actually, that is what's in the cake. So it's just this abundance of like, do you want that protein from the eggs, or like why would you put 2 eggs in a cake? This feeling that Poland had this and has this, like, we're not scared of the great mother energy. We honor and like bow down to the Black Madonna. Like, that is who we bow down to. So it's like, that's who we revere, because the miracles come from that very, very feminine, matriarchal light. It's almost like the godmother. Everything you see in Poland and everything that's happening is about the godmother. It's about the great mum, the great granny. It's so nice to be from that kind of culture. And if you try and Google it, you find pictures of Baptists and stuff like that. And there's a few memes about Baptists that are funny. Like Baptists having an annual pierogi meeting or something, but it's like they're really healing the world. Like, they're actually like curing all these diseases and stuff. There's some funny ones, but I love in Polish you say kicia. You can say like kitten. When you love someone, you can say, you're my teddy bear, Mishu. Mishu's so cute, Mishu. The stuff that you say, like when you love someone that you love in your life, like to your husband, it's so cute and sweet. It's like the sweetest way you can be, like. And ladies and dudes are all just so sweet to each other, and it's not saccharine. It's not like too sweet. It's not like some fake sugary thing where you're like, oh God, we can't handle it. It's like, it's just sweet enough. It's like a maple syrup or a honey, like sweet enough for us. And it works. And dudes in Scotland are the kind of same as well. Like, they support ladies. They were so supportive of the suffragettes. Historically here, like, Scottish dudes were like, my wife's fucking smart. And in punk rock, they were like, oh, we support these ladies, give them the voice. We're uplifting them, but also we're not objectifying anyone. Like, we're not objectifying each other, so why would the press objectify us? Like, that is insane. And the other thing about the Polish vibe is they just say, like, you're a good person, you're a good girl, you're a good human, you're a good boy. Like, they don't say that. It's like, they're not like, don't be bad. Like, this is what's so crazy. I was thinking about, like, the psychology of it. Like, Babcha was never like, don't be bad. She was never like, don't be bad. A lot of people in families are like, don't be bad. Children especially, don't be bad. And the Babcha was always like, be good, be good, be good. And then you're like, good, because immediately she said be good. So you're like, oh, we're only thinking about the good. And that's so different. That's such a different way of doing it, that actually, if there's no shame and there's no, like, judgment in parenting, then oh my God, it's not that you get away with everything, because obviously if you're gonna like fall off a table or something, the Baptists are the ones that are gonna catch you first. My God, like, they'd fucking die for you. They'd literally put their lives on the line for you. So Baptist was always like, I'll put my life on the line for you first. Like, I will be the one who goes first. Like, if they were like, would you die for all your children and your grandchildren to live? Baptist would be like, yes, that's what it is. They just like service you. And Baptist was like, to me, you need to service and be underneath all the other children in the family. Like, the younger kids, you give them more stuff. Like, if you have £1 in your bank, give them 99 pence. She literally said that to me. Like, she was like, you give them everything. They're the next generation. They deserve more. They need more. Like, it's not just an inflation thing. It's like, that's the love of a family in Poland. Is like, people in all other countries are like, it's this parent, or it's the grandparent, then the parents, then the kids. And there's the hierarchy there. That's not what it is. It's upside down in Poland, where it's like the grannies are like underneath everyone, supporting everything from the roots, and like the parents are there, and the other kids are the leaves on the trees, and like give them the energy, give it all to them. They need it. They need it for life. They need to grow. They need energy. Like, they need your energy, your love, your support, everything. They want your face to light up when you see them. And I never walked into a room when Babcia was in it and she didn't go, hiya, how are you? Cześć, co słychać? But she didn't say cześć. She's like, Marianka. Like, she would say 25 different versions of my name. Manchunia. She would call me Manchunia so much because, like, Manchi was my nickname. But Manchunia was, like, Babcia's way of being like, I'm making that cuter. Because everything in Poland is, like, you might have a first name, but we're going to diminutive everything and make it a cuter version. So you're not, like, I don't know, you're not just, like, Francesca, you're Franciszka, Franiuszka. Like, everyone will go, like, make it cute. Everything, every time. You've got, like, 25 nicknames from your whole family because they love you that much and they're, like, revering you and they want you to know you're loved. So there's so much love, generosity, share everything, share every spoon, share every little piece of everything, and give to the other person first. Like, you might be hungry, but, like, give to the other person first at the table. Like, that's also a Greek thing that I really liked in Greece. They just, like, give to you. If they're serving, they don't serve themselves, they serve you first, obviously. So cute. But that shit goes a long way and it changes the whole fucking society. Like, it makes it better. I'm not gonna lie, it makes it better. God, we covered politics, we covered a lot of, like, heavy themes here, but next time I talk, I won't have such a frog in my throat. Funny books on the shelf. Jamie Oliver cookbooks. Oh my god, I also got this good cookbook. This is a good one. This came, oh my god. I don't even know where it came from, but I used to, like, have the app. I used to have the Hippie Lane app. And then now there's no app. Oh my god. So now I have to, like, I got the book. I got the recipe book and it's all good stuff and that lady is epic. So I'm just making different ones of her recipe. I'm sending you guys all the love and peace out, okay? I love you guys. Bye.